Higer sent me a heater, but this time it's a bigger one. 500 watts. What it's going to do, it's going to replace my two 200 watts in my 75 gallon. Just a quick background. The reason I went with two heaters in this tank is so kind of there's less energy usage consumption. They're set almost exactly the same, a little bit different, but they are attached to my Inkbird, so that gives me a little bit more protection. I wanted it there so they wouldn't both have to stay on at the same time to save my breaker, my fuse box. But since then, I installed a new outlet that solely runs on one breaker or fuse itself, just for the fish room. I'm still trying to convert more of my tanks onto that fuse, but they offered me this heater, and that's it. I mean, pretty much just to give my opinion and a review on it. Now, just to kind of go off of it, I do like the brand Higer. Not because they're giving me free stuff to, review, but like I've said it before, and it's still true. A couple years later, best mid-range bang for your buck. They are very reasonably priced, although their prices have gone up lately. Also, they've never offered to send me lights, which is probably the best part about them, is that their lighting is, it's above par. So a lot of value for the brand. They are still a growing company. I feel like they've grown a lot in the past couple of years, and their products have just gotten better. So will I pay a little bit more for better quality products? Absolutely. But will I also go online and buy a 2-pack of heaters off eBay for 20 bucks total? Absolutely. So I do love trying new items, and Higer's just been my staple. So I do not mind making these videos. I know they've got, I don't know if questionable is the word, but they've got some marketing tactics, which a lot of people know about. And, to be honest, if I was a brand new brand, I would try anything I can to market the crap out of my products. And that's kind of what I do in my line of work, is marketing anyway. So I still give it up to them. But I have not opened this. I got it like a week ago, but it is time to open this box. What I'm excited, this is really, I'm opening the wrong way. What I'm really excited about this is to finally get to change out these two heaters. Now, these two heaters, if you guys have seen from previous videos, they are also Higer heaters, but I'm trying to think if I have like a spare one lying around. They get condensation buildup inside the tubes, which is always a concern, but 2 years, probably had them, almost 2 years, a year and a half maybe. No issues. They've been working fine. Like I said, I've got them on my Inkbird, so they temperature regulate. If anything happens, the Inkbird will shut it down. That was always my fail-safe, to have it on that controller. Manual, of course, but we don't need those. Comes in a nice packaging. And all right, so let's got a few more things here. So this is the 500 watt. So I've got two 200 watts, so that equals 400 watts. But this 500 watt, just looking at the specs and everything, does seem like it'll heat up faster and be able to turn off quicker, therefore consuming less energy. So that's the ultimate goal, is not to use the same amount of power as these possibly would. So in the long run, yeah, that's the main objective. So what are we looking at? We are looking at the US standard AC 110, 120 volts, 60 hertz, 500 watt heater. This does come in at 3, 5, 8, 1,000 watt, and a 1,200 watt. I still think if you need a 1,200 watt heater, you should probably use 2 separate heaters instead on either side of your tank or your lake, whatever you need it for, because 500 is definitely the highest watt heater I've ever received and am about to use, just because my largest tank is a 75. So I think if I had 125, I would probably have like two 500s instead of going for the 1,000 or higher. But like I said, I don't know. I think that's just easier. That way, more of your large tank gets heated evenly. But let's check this out. So this comes with a controller. I'm guessing it's going to be like just all the other controllers where you can regulate the temperatures, set the low, set the high, and it will read the temperature in the tank as well as kind of tell you if it's heating or not. So I see it's just only got a single set button, which now I'm wondering it might just click up, and if I wanted to go lower, I'd have to reset it after the max it lets me click. Overall, design is fine. I'm okay with it. I mean, orange, I don't think they have any other colorway. I know some of their heaters do, but I mean, I'm fine with it. It's got two tubes, two heating tubes. Another thing I've learned is to see how easily the cover comes off, because some of my heaters, they'll start acting up and start beeping like it's out of the water, or it's, I don't know, something's faulty. And then sometimes I've either just got to turn it off and turn it back on, or bring it out of the water and then put it back in for it to kind of reset itself. But main things I'm looking for here, I'm hoping that it has an auto off function, so if this is outside of the water, that it doesn't turn on and it gives me an error. And then two is, what's up, buddy? How it heats. I mean, obviously, that's the purpose of this. All right. So it is giving me an auto shut off, and the LED display here is a lot more intricate than I thought it was going to be. So what do we have? We've got the current temp, current power, set temp, and then the beeping is the auto off. So set temp does work just like I said. It starts from the bottom and it'll work its way up all the way to 90 to 60. And holding it doesn't make it go any faster. So I don't know if you guys can see that. So we're just gonna pop it all the way to 93 or something. All right. So my flower horn tank stays a little bit warm at about 82. So I'm going to set it at 82, and of course I passed it, so I can't go down unless I go all the way up. Set it at 82. I know it's beeping, so I'm just going to plop it in there. It shouldn't kick on. The tank's at about 81.2 right now, but we're just going to plop it in there and see what happens. All right, beeping's off. It's kind of registering. Current temperature is going up, and it's telling me it's using 523 watts, the current power. I don't know. I mean, it shouldn't be on right now, but let's double check. No, it doesn't. God dang it. It doesn't look like it's on. Or that red reading might be that it's heating up. All right. So my Inkbird is reading the tank at 81.2. Let's see if this guy does that as well. I mean, it's getting close, so obviously the current temp has slowed down. As long as it's above 81, I think it should be accurate. And also that power consumption, the 511 watts, I would like to see that drop down close to 0 if it's temped fine. It's almost at 80. All right, well, I'll give it a minute and not make you guys wait with me. All right, after a little bit of time, we are looking at 81.6. It is set temp 82. I'm not sure what this low high means, but it looks like it's still heating. 81.6. My Inkbird is reading 81.6. Looks like current power, it is still drawing 514 watts. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. it was at 81.2 before, so it's only went up now 0.5 degrees. So I'm just gonna set this at 81. I mean, it's already turned off. So as soon as you start hitting the button, it will go off. And it looks like I set it at 81. Tank temperature is 81.7. It is not using any power. There's 0 watt, and then the red heating component disappears. So we're gonna set it at 82, and everything should kick back on. It should turn red, yep, and then the wattage should go up. Yes. All right, so that's working. We're gonna leave that at 82. But now we're gonna do a couple things. One of them is disconnect the other two heaters. So unplug those. We're gonna plug this Hydra heater into my Inkbird. Set at 82. Now, actually before I do that, I should have fixed this. All right, so a couple cool things. It comes with, I don't know if this is called a command hook, but pretty much a hook, which I think will hold this guy. Yes, this was one of the big things that I was missing from my other units. I literally had to put a nail somewhere to hang it from, but I like that it comes with it, so I can, you know, either put it on front of my tank, which I personally am not gonna, unless it goes up here. I don't like anything really on the glass. I'll probably put it off to the side or down on the cabinet here. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. I don't know why it's not on right now, but that works for me because we're gonna do some of this chore work. I don't know what it's called. All right, so I removed that. I kind of want to make sure this is clean, and I've only got this in front of me. So that works for me. I'm gonna put it off to the side where it's not an eyesore. Somewhere where I can still see it. That works. Next thing. This, actually I thought was for the heater, but it's not, because it comes with the 3M sticky strip. I'm guessing this is also an option to hold it like so, if you want to use this instead. So it's kind of cool. I think I like that a little bit better, but I stuck that on there, so now I am committed. I'm gonna keep it. Next thing, suction cups. So it does have 2 mounts on the body where you're gonna place the suction cups. Pop it in, just give it a little rotate because of how the slot is there. And the suction cup, I mean like this. It's like it's not a full circle. So once you put it in, you're gonna wanna twist it a little bit to let it, let it get stuck. All right, so we're gonna leave that in there and then figure out why this is not on. Okay, so I come to the conclusion that the 500 watt heater is too much power consumption to hook up to the Inkbird, so that's going to be unfortunate, and I am going to fully have to rely on this controller and this heater to auto detect when there are any anomalies, which I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit nervous about, but we're going to see how it goes. So let's take out the other heaters. What I mean. So all the writing is off of this, but you guys can see inside that tube. Oh, there we go. No, I still can't even make it out. See, I can't even see it because all that condensation buildup inside. You guys can definitely see that, along with some hard water calcification and some algae. But this is the condition of my previous Hydro heater, and actually all the ones like this model have all done this. So I'm glad that they've got some new designs. Let's take out this one. Just to show you guys, this one also, same thing. Yeah, I mean, it had no issues, but you can see right down here, it's getting a lot more water in there. And then that's just how water works. Obviously, there's gonna be condensation if there's a fluctuation in temperatures like that, but I think if it's fully sealed, it shouldn't. Probably should have cleaned the algae off the walls, but that is gonna be good. Okay. Here's plugged in, and it is doing its thing. All right. All right. So while we're going off of that heater placement is huge because you want it to go where it hits the flow. So I've got my spray bar here, and it will kind of push water past the heater, and that's going to evenly distribute your heat. So if I had it maybe back here under the flow of the spray bar, this side of the tank obviously is going to be warmer than this side. Eventually it won't be that big of a difference, but it will always be warmer here, probably by a couple to a few degrees. So you always want to leave it in the direction of flow, as well as more centralized. I think that's it, guys. I will do an update, hopefully, if this guy works out or doesn't. But so far, it's not bad. I like it. We'll see how much energy it uses. Just because 500 watts is high. So I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, just leave it down in the comments. I'll try to answer them the best I can. And I'm sure you guys will see more of it as the videos come out. But Hydro heater, guys, the link will be in the description. Once again, this is an honest review. If I don't like it, I'll let you know. Thanks for watching.